Hello folks, another video today from that Tassie Wargamer. This is probably only half hour on from when I did the last one, but I thought while I'm down in the gaming room and I had quite a few minis out, I thought I might as well get my my French Indian war gear out and actually first time I've ever put it all on the table. I'm a skirmish wargamer, so generally I don't have an awful lot of minis for any one era. But slowly over time, because this is the era that John and myself regularly play using Sharp Practice, I find I've actually built up probably more than I'm ever going to use, considering when John and I play together, John has only got British, so I don't get to play British. I'll normally play my French. However, I've got two, so one time if I'm ever wanting to introduce somebody else to the game, the great thing is I've got both sides ready to go. So the back here, you would have seen these in the previous video, are the Highlanders from Eureka Miniatures on the small side, closer to 25. Then my Galloping Major British, they're Troop 28 and they're quite heroic too, quite a big stocky miniature, but they're really fun, really great to paint. Coming forward, I think these are from North Star, if I remember right. 2 units with an officer of Rangers, paint up as Rogers Rangers, so they'll always be in skirmish, and the ones that I painted just recently are some British Light Infantry. So I've got a lot of regulars there. I can always, even though I base them as regulars, like I was saying before, I base if they're going to be in line, I base them square. If they're going to be skirmish, I base them round. What I could do is either use all the Scots as skirmishers or one of these units, because a few of them have got sort of the different caps on, so I could always use them as a skirmish unit. Yes, the flags are too low. They were the posts that they came with. I've got some 100mm pikes on order. I'm going to take those flags off and put them, because I'm sure they shouldn't have been that low. Who knows, maybe they were. Some even smaller, these are meant to be 28mm, but really they're close to 20mm. If you put them in a 20mm game, they probably wouldn't go out of place. These are from Warlord Games. They're just some townsfolk, as well as I think it's Gertie and Kenton, a white man and an Indian, who I think they were just adventurers from what I remember. Over the back, these are from Saga, Gripping Beast, but we've used them occasionally in our games because why not? They sort of fit. The monks didn't change considerably in thousands of years. Into the middle, I now have my Indians set up in groups of 10 here with their officers. So 3 big groups plus a couple of spares, because there's nothing like having a spare. Over these, I had some of the plastic militia just sitting there unpainted. So these last set I painted with blue, because previously I painted sets with red. When I first bought the militia, they were some of the first miniatures I bought for French-Indian War. So I wanted to paint some up as Coeur de Bois. Generally they were known as the Bonnet Rouge, I think, so the red hats. So I painted some up as red, as well as some without. So I could use some as just militia for the British side, Coeur de Bois for the French. But now I have got my own Coeur de Bois miniatures, in metal specifically. I just painted some blue. So if I wanted to, I could have a red unit, blue unit, non-unit basically, or I could just mix them up. So I could have British and French or whatever if I wanted to. Over to my French, these are the ones I play the most, yet they're not as big as my British side. So that will have to be addressed. But then again, I rarely use them all anyway. So we play normally about a 70 to 80 point game in a Sunday afternoon. 3 units of French regulars. These are Warlords, but from the old Conquest games, and they are again on the short side. These are my really lovely sculpts. These are some of my favourite sculpts. These are Warlord Games, Company de la Marine, but they are also on the small side. And in a second I'll put the lamp down, because I'm carrying the lamp with me too. I'll put that down and I'll show you comparisons. So they're beautiful sculpts, some of the most animated sculpts, and just really characterful. Then I bought some specific Coeur de Bois that were modelled as Coeur de Bois, so that's what they are. In Sharp Practice you can only have 1 unit, so I'm only ever going to be able to use one unit. And these are my my latest, because I wanted to add some more Marines. Now I'm just going to put the lamp down for a second, somewhere where it's not going to crunch a mini, and I'm going to show you the difference in 28mm. A bit of a clatter, I'm just moving a tray. These are what I would consider to be true 28mm. As you can see, they're very similar. I find the guy in the background, I'll find somebody that is standing upright. He is also supposedly 28mm, also French Marine. Now, he could be a short guy, that's fine. But the whole unit is just tiny. But mix them in, and again, once you're standing at the table, no big deal. So even though I'm saying they're a lot smaller, even the size of the heads, I mean, this guy looks tiny. He is kneeling, obviously, but just the size of the heads as well seem to be a fair bit smaller. It probably actually doesn't come up on camera. It looks all right on camera, but believe me, there is a fair difference. The old Warlord, the old Conquest stuff, I would suggest is closer to 22mm, somewhere between 20 and 25. I've seen 25 bigger than them. They're meant to be 28. But yeah, these guys here, I don't know, where am I? They're just lovely to paint. Really, Conquest did some good sculpts, just a little bit on the small side. But to be fair to Conquest, I'm pretty sure when they were Conquest, they were advertised as 25. From what I've heard, Warlord just took them and said, I'll call them 28. So that is my table for French Indian Wars. Looking at it now, I could almost have a game of Black Powder. I never played Black Powder. I always thought, it's going to be too hard to build up the forces, but who knows? Could always be a first time. Anyway, bye for now.